Wow. Is dat?
Help the text. Help the text out.
Okay, let's open up the Gemara. I decided this year I wanted to put a test. Because but we're holding that Yud, the Mishnah. We did last week the Mishnah. We're doing it some from the Mishnah. Daf Yud. I'm sorry, Daf Tes Amud Beis. Daf Tes Amud Beis.
You can see or come.
Okay. So I decided to do a test. We were learning about when is Tetzei Sakei Chol.
Right.
How much does the sun have to go down? It should be dark enough. It should say the Sakei Chol Bein. Most calendars today, the Matzah Shabbos go with 8.3. That the sun is under the horizon 8.3 degrees. We spoke about the two shittas of Chabad Rabbonim, Rabbi Levin and Rabbi Finkelstock, 5.5, which Rabbi Levin says is really the time, and 6.5, which is Kechavim Ktanim. And I told you I don't like his shitta. I like Rabbi Finkelstock's shitta, which is that the Alter Rebbe knows what he's saying and he knows what he's doing, and he tells you Kechavim Beinanim is 6 degrees under the horizon, and that's what it is, and that's it. I was now in Shenandoah National Park. So Wednesday, I rushed back because I gave the sheet on Zoom. Thursday, I said, I'm not going to do that because Friday night, I can't drive, and Motzei Shabbos, we can So Thursday night, I taped my sheet earlier, and I sent over the sheet. And then I went to the park, and we were there all day. We spent it. And then we were there for Shkia Sachama. And then I looked at Rebbe Google based on the exact spot where I was. And I looked what time is the sun going to be 5.5 degrees under the horizon. Now it's a national park. There's no lights. There's no lights there. It's not the biggest national park, but it's like, 12 miles wide. It's a mountain, the Blue Ridge Mountains. It's 12 miles wide and 80 miles long. So it's a shetach of land with no lights. And
You can drive there, huh?
yeah. There's no lights, but you're allowed to drive by night.
You're not allowed to make a picnic or something like that.
No.
But the drive, yeah.
You can drive and have lookouts. I stopped at a lookout, 5.5.
How do you know it's 5.5?
Get at the Google.
You know the time, that it's 7:45.
I said Stony Man Walk, Stony Man Trail. I'm here now. What time is going to be? What time is going to be? I think
sundown?
It was sundown. And what time is the sun going to be at 5.5 under the horizon? And what time is going to be 6 degrees? And what time is 6.5 under the horizon?
It's made of minutes.
No, the difference was 5.5 was a difference about 10 minutes.
It's very, very close. But
In the summer here in New York and in Virginia, the difference is 10, 12 minutes.
Right.
In Iceland, the difference could be a half hour. And the difference could be, you make Avdallah Motzei Shabbos on Sunday morning. Anyway, I waited 5.5 degrees. I look up in the sky.
Maybe it was a cloud day.
Oh, so was it? I must say, unfortunately, it was a little bit of a cloudy day.
Right.
Wednesday night was not such a cloudy. I wish I was there Wednesday night, but I said, okay, put the car back on. I drove. No one's there besides one bobcat.
What is bobcat?
It's like a tiger. It's like a.
I thought it's something. I thought kid.
It's an animal you don't want to meet when you're outside your car. You only want to be in the car.
That's how bad it is?
Yeah, they eat meat.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're hunting.
They're hunters. But we're in the car. Okay. Safe. Got to the next. Okay. It was exactly 2 minutes after the Zman that Rabbi Google said it's 6 points under the horizon.
Yeah.
I turned off the car, I turned off the lights. There was a nice ledge as a chavegelik. I saw millions of stars. Millions of stars. So just tell me, no, they're all kacham kacham, they're not Beinanim. I saw millions of stars.
What's that?
I don't remember exactly. I wrote down. I have it at home. I wrote down the time. What's the difference in time? The difference is how many degrees it's under the horizon.
And that's Kochovim Gdolim, not Tani.
So Rabbi Levin says that's Kochovim Beinanim, and that we have to wait till Ktanim.
Who could tell the different Tanim, Beinanim?
6 degrees.
How did you know what the degrees were?
I asked Rabbi Google. I have a Rebbe. He's called Rabbi Google. I said I'm on a Stony Man trail, and I want to know. This was a few days ago. I want to know August 28th. What time is going to be sunset? Then I said I want to know what time the sun is going to be 5.5 under the horizon. I want to know what time it's going to be 6 points under the horizon.
I hope you can rely on Google for that.
They like those questions.
I mean, if you had a professional astronomer site, that's different. Well,
Where do they get their information from?
No, the United States Naval Observatory. That's
Okay.
That's
where you have to look. Okay, we have to do further bedikas, but based on what I saw, at 5.5 I couldn't see a single kotav, and at 6 degrees under the horizon, I saw millions of kotav.
So half a
how
degree.
many minutes after Shiur was done? That's what counts.
It was. I have to look. I took a screenshot of it. It was about 30 minutes, maybe 35 minutes after Shkia.
Okay, here is Israel. Even the regular Luchot of the Rabbanuts, they make usually 36 minutes of the Shkia. I don't see if they'll feel the deep most if they want even.
Right. Okay. So I'm just telling you what the observation was.
There's no pollution, you could see much.
I've seen the climate. Yeah.
אז היה הפרש תכלס בין הזמן שלנו לזמן שראית?
כן, הוא מוקדם.
כמה מוקדם?
20 דקות, 15 דקות.
20 דקות, מה שאנחנו עושים פה.
כן.
שקיעה.
לא שקיעה, צייסה כיכוב.
20 דקות לפני שלנו פה?
You said the sheet was 5.5 and 6.5?
I said, yeah, 5.5, 6.5. If you look at any Jewish calendar, like Hebrew dates, so they say and they'll give you the sheet of 5.5, 6, 6.5, 8.3, 8.5, 9.2.
that we have, what do they go by?
One's different. I don't know. Which calendar do you go by?
Let's say Chabad.
Lubavitch?
Zemanim of Chabad.
Chabad,
Friedman, it's Lubavitch.
No, Chabad or...
It's more than just Lubavitch. It's more than just Lubavitch. Yeah.
How are they made?
I'm not sure. I know the Chabad Luchas, Hashemetzoi Shabbos, they do 8.3. L'chumren, they do 8.3, and I think Lagabe regular Shkia for Lagabe Krishma Shalarvis, it's every calendar is different. I think the right one is 6. I don't know. Each one's different. Chabad.org. There's different luchas, Chabad luchas.
So you think the 6 degrees under the horizon should be saturated?
Yeah, that's what I could
So
see.
it says for even Motzei Shabbos?
No, because if you're living in New York, and Klal Yisrael is already being machmer, and their minig is to do tesefes machoil ala kodesh, to do more time. So we should do the same thing. But like I was saying, that I was in Iceland, and the shliach asked. So there was a Rav that told him that you shouldn't wait for 8.3 because you're going to end up that most of the summer you can't take out Shabbos. It's bad enough that he waits for 6 degrees under. He goes with 6 degrees. So it's bad enough. It goes.
How long is it?
So when I was there, Motzei Shabbos went out at about 12 o'clock at night. But 2 weeks before I came, it didn't set. It only set like 4 degrees under the horizon, and then it's already a loisa shachar.
Wow.
So he
So
makes so he
It's a day the whole time.
no. So he goes to sleep and he wakes up in the morning and he washes negovasa and he says brachas and then he makes Havdalah.
And no Bomer Reish.
Yeah,
He losing Bomer Reish.
yeah,
Only Psomim.
yeah.
I don't know, Psomim in the morning, and Sunday morning you mix.
Yeah, you can do
So how
Havdalah.
does he have,
How to handle a fast? Teres of a Talmud.
I don't know. It's very
Tisha
hard. It's very hard. To show shows of times very hard.
so how does he have Tzes B'Chavim if he doesn't go 6 degrees below?
He doesn't. He has a loisa shachar the next day.
So that's
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
he could go Mincha
זה איתם גם בין השש
One
לאפס
shot.
כמה
from
זמן
11
זה
o'clock
איתם?
at night
בין
to
שש
Within
לאפס
like an hour.
1:30 in the
כמה
morning.
זמן זה?
An hour.
תלוי, כל מקום.
כל משל סתם ככה פלוס מינוס קו אינדיקציה בין שש
Depends.
לאפס
Depends. זה בקיץ יותר זמן, בחורף פחות זמן.
פה בניו יורק הולכים לפעמים לפי שש
לא, בצוי שבת, 8.3.
8.3 אז יותר מוקדם יעני כביכול
לא, יותר מאוחר.
יותר מאוחר
השמש שוקעת יותר. יותר זמן.
What do I do with the mikveh?
So anyway, he doesn't have a mikveh yet. So what he does is,
You have to fly.
no. He goes, they have a lot of places that are hot springs that are very pleasant, natural hot springs.
Okay.
So the few women that go into mikveh go there. Aval yesh baya, ma baya. Around the capital city, people go there. A woman is going to get undressed to go in. Another man is going to go in. So they have, yeah, exactly. So they have a few places, they know quiet places, they don't tell.
Right.
That Ruba de Ruba, that no one knows of those places.
Mm-hmm.
So the shluchah will drive with the lady like 45 minutes outside the city, and they'll go to this Mayim Chamen, and the lady will get undressed, and the shluchah will, whatever.
Well,
whatever.
400 Eden, how many ladies are keeping
Shluchah
fast
said
in the
once
shop?
she came with a lady, and there were a few guys having a good time. They were there.
You have to go somewhere else.
So the shluchah said, Rabbi Say, we're Jewish women and we have to go to mikveh. Please do me a favor and get out of here. And they went out, they got dressed, they went into their cars and they left.
Oh.
And then the woman went to the mikveh. So they do it. The din is that if it's a danger to go to mikveh by night, you could do it by day, and day 8. So they go, instead of going to mikveh on the night,
At night.
no, so they go in the day. They go in the day 8 by day, whatever. 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock.
12 in the morning.
The shluchah makes with the lady a time, and she drives with her, and then they go out of the city for about 45 minutes. So Mayon Chamim. It's warm. It's pleasant water. Zelo baya.
It's clean.
Clean. Everything good. Baya doesn't belong to you.
Right.
So all of a sudden, someone could show up,
Right.
and it's uncomfortable. A woman gets undressed.
Well, it's nice.
So they found 2-3 places that is very quiet and no one knows. That's where they go.
They got a big sign, the spiritual.
Yeah. Obviously,
You have to go to work.
the shliach is planning to build a mikveh, but you need money, you need time, and you need permits, and you need.
What's that, white people or black people?
I've been seen all black people. No.
It's Iceland.
We cannot
They don't like cold. Yeah, they don't like cold. They like Africa.
הגזע קשה או לא גזע?
לא, הגייזר קשה, בטח. כן, אבל אתה תלך שם. ראשית דבר זה הכי חם. זה חם? מה זה חם?
הגזע חם?
כן.
מתעופים על זה.
אבל מלא אנשים. לא אישה.
From the 400 Eden, how many keep ties on the stuff?
Few ladies.
Even for one, you'll build a mikveh.
And if you build, then more people start coming. Okay. Let's learn that Tzemach Tzedek. Let's first read the Mishnah very fast. Ad, you reach Shema Ad Netzach Hamer. Shema Am Sholosh Oz, Shkein Derech Malachim Lam B'Sholosh Oz. So the beginning, the Mishnah says no, that you reach Shema until Netzach Hamer. Rabbi Shua said no, Ad Sholosh Oz. Shkein Derech Malachim Lam B'Sholosh Oz. Akein Mekamein L'Chleif Zekodem Mekere B'Torah. Okay, let's read right away some tzedek. Name is a code in the Shema, the Shachrit, the Shiak, and the Chelas Lov. Yiddish Atois with Aftes Beis. Dainu Tachet. Tachas.
They showed me here it's kind of now like 8 o'clock.
No, there's a minus. Yeah, good. 6. The scientists think that twilight ends at 6 with 6. The emes is that they say the Ur Shemesh is bottle of mavutal kafra da'ara when it's 6. Twilight ends. Civil twilight ends. So the emes is, okay, not that science is a raya to Torah, but all the scientists think
So
that...
there's only 10 minutes, so to say.
Yeah.
Between,
The thing is, what they apply as twilight is not necessarily Sefer Kocharim.
I think yes, but I'm saying it's not a raya. I'm not saying that this is a proof. The proof is the fact that I'm looking up in the sky and it's 5.5 and I don't see a single star. I wait about 10 minutes and all of a sudden it's 6 degrees under the horizon and I see a million stars. That's what I see with my eyes.
From no star to million star in 1 minute.
Mamish like this. So
which sheet do you think is better, the 6.5?
6. I think it's 6.
There's a third sheet.
Didn't anyone of Detroit try just like to go upstate New York?
That's what I did. I was in Virginia in the Shenandoah National Park. There's no lights there. There is
Okay, but that's
huge.
But there's a difference with latitude. There's a difference between the latitude when the further south you go.
No, because what's the difference? If you know how much degrees the sun is under the horizon from where you're standing, so what's the difference where in the world you're standing? The question...
Who made this decision that it's depending upon degrees? So
6
they
degrees,
figured it out.
it's
That they're going to be 3 X amount of degrees.
Okay, so go around in different places. Go around in different places and keep on trying it.
So when made this thing about 4 degrees? How did they come to that conclusion?
He said he tried it in a lot of places in the world. No, because it was the way he learned the Alter Rebbe. It's that there was just time is too short now.
Rabbi Levin did not travel around to check.
Yeah. Okay. Maybe it's a current Shema B'Shachris. Mashiakim and Tchelis L'Lovin. Yiddish Toisvus Daf Tes Samad Beis. The Hainu V'Tzitzish Gavur Boi Tchelis. V'gam Shnei Chuti Lovin. Bois Boi Chul Yishel Tchelis V'chul Yishel Lovin Ad Kan L'Shem. Chinkos Avoid that Toisvus Perik Dal Menachos. V'mam Gimel Om Beis V'Shem Orach V'Yerushalem. V'Zil Shoyn Orach Erech Tchelis V'Perik Beis V'Brachos. V'Gemoret Nam Ben Tchelis L'Lovin Shabo Ben Tchelis Shabo L'Lovin Shabo Pili Sheish Bo Shisha Chutim Tel Tzemer Lovin and Beis Chutim Shel Tzemer Atzavur Tchelis V'Echem Oitzem Tema Ahu Shekoidech Elazayin Bein Nikar Elabayoin. So Tosis and the Orach both say, what does it mean? Mishayakir Bein Tchelis L'Lovin, that the tzitzis that they had 7 chutim of Lovin and 1 chut of Tchelis. And when you look, it's dark. If it's pitch dark, you can't see the difference. When there's enough light to see the difference between the chut ha-tchelis and the chut ha-lovan, that's when there's Mashiakim and tchelis l'lovan. Okay.
That must be very, very early.
Yeah, that must be very early.
Even before Lot of Shachar, something.
He's saying it's after, really. The Tam de Rashi, Yesh Loiman, Kamoi, the Rashi argues in Toisus. The Rashi says it's not between Chuta Tchelis and Lovan, but between if he had bundles of wool and he dyed it, if he could tell the difference between the splotches that are blue and white. The Tam de Rashi Yishlom Kamoi Lerabelazid Amma Tchelis Lakarti. Ein ze shaykh betchelis shebetzitzes sheri ein tseva karti klal betzitzes kmoiken larbon da haben mit khetz lav gam ken ein ze shaykh betchelis shebetzitzes sheri shneim dor sho me pas kori ismoise. Okay, very geschmack. It's like very classic of how to learn a Gemara Rashi Tosfos. Why did Tosfos have good pshat? Why did Rashi not say like Tosfos? Because the Mishnah says there's 2 opinions. One says Ben Tchelis L'Lovin. One says Ben Tchelis L'Karti. And Lagabi Tzitzis, you can't say Ben Tchelis L'Karti between the green tzitzis and what? No one has green tzitzis.
It's only blue.
There's only blue. And Muslims talking, so the Rebbe Lezer is talking about wool. So why should we machik the machloikis? So also the first opinion is talking about wool. The shaila is white wool and blue wool, or white wool and green wool. Continue. The Gemara mask the shir lanochas tefillin shehu koidem krishma k'mashkosav Rashi u'mashiris chavede berochik daladamas ve'akirenu. That by then the Gemara says that Abaya says that the tefillin kacheda and the krishma kevasikin. So Rashi says la niach tefillin shemitzvos hanachos and koidem krishma. And so Rashi says. So the Alter Rebbe says, I'm sorry, it's somewhat tzedek. The Gemara bats ashir lanochas tefillin. The Gemara bats the ashir lanochas tefillin shekodim krishma k'oshkasav Rashi u'mashiris chavedi berich l'dal damas v'kerenu l'krishma kevasikin kodim ma'at l'neitzachama. That the Vasikin do it a little bit before Netzachama. Yish lahavin. Eza shir koidem kadeshi yaker met chelis lalavin betzitzis. Or mishayaker is chaveda berochik daladamas lagabe tefillin.
This is much easier.
So which is first? Is it the same, or is it or one is before the other?
Shiakes Havero is much easier than.
Lachoyre mishayaker chaveda is easier. It comes earlier.
Right.
So now it's like this. Mishalmi mashma did b'dechat shuro. V'zel l'shoyne. Is tone ben zev lekelev or ben chamor la'arud. That you have to have enough light to see the difference between a zev or kelev or chamor and arud. Have a main man the mar ben zev lekelev ben chamor la'arud. Keman the mar ben tchelis lakarti. שההפרש מעט ביניהם, והחנמי בין זאב לכלב מחמור לעורד, שההפרש מעט ביניהם. So the Gemara says, just like you need a lot of light to tell the difference between a zayv and a keleb because they're almost the same. Same thing, tchelis lakarti, they're almost the same. So you need a lot of light. ומן דאמר כבין כדי שיהיה אדם רחב מחבר דל דמס ומכירי, כמן דאמר בין תחילס ללבן. שהוא הפרש גודל, ואין צריך אור גודל לכך, להכר בין זה לזה. Yerushalmi says the other ones are very hard to tell apart, but there are two things that are very easy to tell apart. The difference between blue and green is harder to tell. White and blue is easier to tell. Same thing Yochave. So it's when the Yerushalmi lumps together Yaakeh Chaveroi and Yaakeh Metchelis Lalavan.
When it's dark, you can't see the difference.
I said, but once it gets light, so you don't need that much light to see the difference between Tchelis and Lalavan. You need more light. That's what the Yerushalmi is saying. You need more light to tell the difference between Tchelis and Karti. You need less light to tell the difference between Tchelis and Lalavan. That's what the Yerushalmi is saying. That's the Chiddush that Tzemach Tzedek is trying to bring out, is that we see that the Yerushalmi puts together, just like a Zev and a Keleb is hard to tell, and you need a lot of light. That's the same light, the difference between blue and green. But blue and white, you need a little bit of light, and that's like Yakes Chavere B'rich Dal Damas. Smasher from the Yerushalmi, Yakes Chavere.
See the blue, not that it seems.
You see the difference. But what you see But what you see from the Yerushalmi is that the Yerushalmi puts together Yakes Chavere B'rich Dal Damas and Cheles and the Lavan. So we see that these two are the same shear. Bottom line is that's Lapel what Shulchan Aruch paskins. When you look at this every chart today, because the Alter is going to say Tzemach says that Rashba disagrees. We don't pass like that Rashba. If you look at every calendar, there's a Lois Shacha and Mishayakim. Or some calendars write Zman, Filin, Vitzitzis, and then there's Nates.
Right.
There's Mishayakim. There's Alois Shacha, Mishayakim, and then there is Neitzachama. So we talk a paskin like this. The Tzemach Tzedek is bringing a raya from Yerushalmi, like the way we paskin in Shulchan Aruch, the Mishayakir for Talis, and Mishayakir for Tzitzis, and Mishayakir for Tefillin is the exact same. And that's talk in every Jewish calendar you look. Either it'll say Mishayakir or it says Zman Tefillin, Zman Tzitzis, Zobazach. It's Zobazman. And Tzemach Tzedek is bringing a raya from Yerushalmi. Okay, good raya. Kosa Tmidr ben Yonah, the Lochik Achenim, Vimken Alochik Mishnah Seinu, the Shir Met Chetz Lelova. Shuv the Isim Beis Yosef Simon Ches B'Matz Matzas V'Moshe V'Gam Kersham Anal Shur Matzas Shur L'Achenim Shur Gemara Shneim Shur Echad. Beautiful. The Rebbe Tzemach Tzedek says he realized later that the Yerushalmi that he invented was already, that's the Beis Yosef already quotes that Yerushalmi Gewalt good right. Hello. Shekosa Shemitivri Rashba Gavadahoma Varabaya. Let's film Kashayri Mashma the Lav Shirechta. Hainu Shekosa the Rashba writes Ikshu Alabaya. The Rishonim asked on Abaya, Amai Shafke Letzitzes Venokat Letfilm. The Abaya says that when do you put on film in the morning? Mishayake. Why does he say tefillin? Why doesn't he say tzitzis? Why did he say tefillin? He should say tzitzis. Dikamanda Omar, Meidev and Mechim Menachashim Mitzvasam Alayla. Allah Chavei Moedinke. So why did he pick the Afkat tefillin, not tzitzis? The Tirtzu, they answered, the Efshe Duzman tzitzis Eina Mishiyiris Chavei El Mishayake Ben Tchelis Shabbat Lulavan Shabbat. Kedabrin Menachas V'Isa Moisus Chartem. Rei mitzvah zu, zechoy mitzvah acheres, v'zu hi krishma. Which is Tosus said. Tosus brings us menachas. Ad kan l'shoyne from the Rashba. Okay. So we see from the Rashba, very, very clear, that the Rashba learned that the Zman of Tefillin and the Zman of Tzitzis are two different Zmanim. One is Mishayakir Chavede Berichik Daladamas, and the other is Mishayakir Bein Tchelis Lelov. Tzitzis is Mishayakir ben Tchelis Lelova, and Tefillin is Mishayakis Chavede Berichik Daladamas. Again, we don't pass like the Rashba, but it's the Yagul Torah V'Yad that we're learning. We're allowed to know what the Rashba holds too.
רגע, אז מתי השתמשו בתחילת? אז מתי? עד איזה תקופה?
לא כל כך ברור. לא כל כך ברור.
כי מקשים על הבעיה, ומי אמר שבזמנו בכלל התמשו בכלל היה תחילת, לא מאמין.
תלוי מה אתה חושב שבאמת זה תחילס. תלוי מה אתה חושב זה באמת זה
בזמן הגמרא לא היה תחילת.
מי אומר לך לא?
לא יכול למצוא את החילזון הזה, איפה יכול למצוא אותו?
מה? כמה המרחק מהארץ לבובל? מה המרחק הגדול?
לא, שבועיים הליכה. זה לא, נכון.
הסוכנים מביאים את זה.
לא, היה בזמן, מה ששואל, החילזון היה קיים בזמנם?
כן, בטח היה קיים.
Just the color, doesn't make actual...
No, he's saying, when the Eden were already in Spain, they probably already lost the Chilazon.
Sure.
But when the Eden were in Babel, they probably had the Chilazon. Why should they have lost it? Why should they have lost it? They probably lost it when they had it.
In Babel, they did not.
No? But that's what he's asking.
No, because the Chilazon was made on the shores of the Mitzvah near Lebanon.
Right. So there was no business people that would bring over the tefillas from the shores of Lebanon to...
No, since the Forban, first of all, there's a problem with the government.
Right. The Gemara says that the Romans wanted to...
The purple was like considered a royal color, and the government will not allow anyone except the high government officials to use it.
But that color was it's true what you're saying.
There's a truth in the Gemara even that they wouldn't allow it.
Right.
It says much that the police caught people carrying the failed and they're having trouble.
Right. That's true. Okay. יש לו אבל לפי זה, איזה שיר קודם? According to the Rashba, which shir, who comes first? The shir, the shayakit of the tefillin, the shayakit of the tzitzis. The need of the shir, shayakit, the shir is chaveru koiden. Shayakit mentchelis l'shabbat l'lav shabbat. The Amar, because the words of the Rashba is Eina mishayir chaveru ela mishayakit mashma achikach void. Besides from the words of the Rashba, the lafima shemeive megamar menachos mashma the tzitzis v'krishma shneim zman echad. According to the Gemara in the Menachos, it's mashma that tzitzis and krishma is the Mashiach metchelis Shabbat l'lav Menachos tefillin l'kodim krishma, and we know that tefillin must be before krishma. This is what Rashi says. The Rashi in our Gemara, Rashi says laniach tefillin shemitzvah sanechosim kodim krishma. Rashi brings a raya from the Afyuda Aldam and Beis. So therefore, it has to, because the Tosfos says from the Gemara Menachos Isa Moises Chartem is called mitzvahs Hashem. Re'ei mitzvah zu uzachor mitzvah acheres. Mitzvah zu is tzitzis, mitzvah acheres is Krishma. And tefillin, Rashi says, comes before. So it must be this ma Mashiach Mechavere Rav Damas is earlier, and Mashiach Metchel Slavim comes later. Two gewaldige reis. But Tzorichin lefi zeh, al mashakosov beis Yosef beis Shem and Chavei, the Levishet tzitzis, tzorich lis kaidem hanachas tefillin. We paskin that we first put on tzitzis and then tefillin. Divrei Rashba zan hanachas tefillin maschal l'chayim kaidem zman hanachas tzitzis. According to the Rashba, the chiyuv of hanachas tefillin comes earlier. V'imkin yeshlema, the tefillin yeshlahag. Since zman tefillin, according to the Rashba, comes first, so why shouldn't you put on tefillin first? There is an opinion that says the minat Torah tefillin is balayla, and we pass them that way. But tzitzis kaimal on them, it's us in Elabayoim, because most of the Rishonim hold that way. Vafal pichlin hevi abeis Yosef v'reish simon chafei b'shem hazoyer v'tzorech lahag dem tzitzis l'tefillin v'ayim b'shagas ayis and koyach the shagas ayis. Shagas ayis asks why Taka the Shulchan Aruch says to put tzitzis before tefillin. The tefillin should come first. Kol hatoder chavere, koydem chavere, kol hamakuder chavere, koydem chavere. Shagas ayis and Ches is probably, in my estimation, said over as a bar mitzvah Torah at least 500,000 times, if not more. If not more. How many Simonim? I think from all bar mitzvah Torahs, a third are Shagas ayis. From the Shagas ayis Zman till now is about 300 years. How many Simonim, when you pick a Shagas ayis for your son's bar mitzvah, which one are you going to pick? About Shvita Shiva Nikim? About which one? Which Shagas ayis? There are 7 Shagas ayis about tefillin. Tzitzis, tefillin, those, yes. Simon, this is one of the, this is Mistama, this Simon, the Shagas ayis was already used a 500,000 times by today. The famous Shagas ayis, Simon Chav Ches. שעל-פי דבריו יש לתרץ קושס הרעש בעל הבית, דנוק את פילם שמצווה שיש בחיוב יויסר ובציצis, that the reason why Abaye said tefillin, even though, because tefillin is more choshev, sharei tzitzis hem loy lovish beged shel arba kamfos and mechuyev b'tzitzis. Av sham razal tetztadeki lifter es atzmo yichulu. The Gemara says, "V'idin nerischa," they punish a person also for not wearing tzitzis, even though it's not a chiyuv to wear tzitzis. You can't compare it to tefillin. You can't go without wearing tefillin. This is what we were talking about last week in my shiur, in the Wednesday night shiur. We mean tzitzis. You know, if everything's going good, you can get away without wearing tzitzis. Tefillin says in the pasuk, "Shartam loisei dachavayil tavs beinenecha." Okay, no katabayat film, but really he meant also. Therefore, this is Okay, so therefore, the that's upshlag for the Rashba. The Rashba is asking why did Abaye say that the zman of tefillin is mishayaka? Why didn't he say tzitzis? The answer is because tefillin is more choshev than tzitzis. But really, both. He meant both. He meant tefillin and tzitzis. So the kasha from the Rashba is not such. He's saying it's not just an earth-shattering kasha. At Takal Lepol, that's what we paskin, that in every Jewish calendar, Sheyakir, as Chaveri Daldamas, and Sheyakir is the same time. So we say that there's chiyuv of the Valocha, but he's saying to ask a kasha on the Rashba, to say that ask a kasha on the Rashba, to say, well, if this Zman film came earlier, so why wouldn't it be a chiyuv to put on film? That's not a kasha on the Rashba. I wouldn't fall apart from this kasha. I can't. Azak kasha came in. Okay. It's getting a little late. I did make a copy of the Keren David, which he has a similar pilpul to Tzedek. He comes up with an opposite maskana. He thinks that the shiur of Mishayakir Ben Chil is earlier, and he says, that's why he's supposed to put on tzitzis first, because the chiyuv of tzitzis comes before the chiyuv of tefillin. My problem, he says a lot of things that I want to slug up each one of them, but the time is short. But just this nakuda is sometimes our chiddush is too good to be true. if his chidush was so true, why would the Shagas Ayi write the whole Samach of Ches? Why would it would be Uis Shagas Ayi? You're asking Ashayla, why are we putting on tzitzis before tefillin? Because the Zman of tzitzis is 20 minutes before the Zman of tefillin. As Frex the Kashas, Kolam Kudish, Kolatodem. The Shiur is earlier. The Chiddush is too good to be true. The Chiddush is a good Chiddush, but too good to be true. Can't be. Can't use Gal. Anyway, so but Lapoil, Tzemach Tzedek says that the bottom line is that we have two shittis. We paskin that the Zman of Tzitz and Tefillin come exactly the same time. And that's why do we put our Takat Tzitzis first? Because the Zoya says to do so. Why Takat? The Zoya says to need first the Tzitzis and then Tefillin. The Tefillin is more cautious. When others, Kolam Kudish, Kolam Toder Koidem, Kolam Kudish Koidem. But Apich said this because Apich Zoya, the Zoya said to do it. And Apich said this, the Alter Rebbe says that a person needs the Or Makif first. The Or Makif, the Ikir is the Or Pnimi. The Or Makif helps for the Or Pnimi to last. So when a Yid surrounds himself Talis, which is the union of Or Makif, so when a person wraps himself up with the Or Makif, that gives a koyach later to go up in the kedusha and to be able to take in the kedusha of the tefillin. Adrabah, because of the mile of tefillin, because they're both being the kaddish, the guf of a yid, and they're not two separate things. They're both adding to the kedusha of a yid, and it's mile and the kodesh. Because they both mekadosh the guf of a yid, so therefore the Zohar holds. Api nikla sits in tefillin two separate mitzvahs. So shaychas and shaychas. But Api pnimis Torah, they do have a shaychas, and they both have to do picking up the yid to help him to read Krishma. So therefore, tzitzis is the first step. The priest of the Malka, he'd surround himself with the Armaka. And then he puts on tefillin, which is the Or Pnimi. And then he says Krishma. There's three separate mitzvahs. Mine says, Koyde Krishma, what tefillin kila, the sheker. And the Zohar says also, Krishma, the tzitzis kila made the sheker. But really, they're three separate mitzvahs. But Api, Pnimi Torah, the three mitzvahs are clicking to each other. And therefore, we take step 1, step 2, step 3. First, we put on tzitzis, which is a little bit of a kedusha. It's piece of the malkin. Then there's tefillin, which is shibud hamayach v'alev, which is the union of pnimius. And then comes krishma, which is mamash pnimius, the pnimius. After Shem Alekecha, Shem Echad. It's a good kasha. That's a good question. Now that the Zohar, Api, the Zohar, yeah, I think yes. Answer is yeah. Not that there's a schayvus Api nigla, but yeah, if you accept this view, Api Chassid is based on the Zohar. That the reason why the Zohar said first tzitzis and then film, even though the Chodesh Shagasaya Shreit Hagevald, that film is more Mekudesh and more Toder. Why? Because this is step 1, step 2, step 3, and we're going up a mile Kedusha. So how many person can argue and say that in the morning the tzitzis that I put on in the morning, this was going to help? Okay. But there's a shtickle stein you're wearing a talis cotton, but there is a svara to say there's nothing wrong. You did nothing wrong if you put on the talis and made a brach on it.
If you have no talis, you say Shema anyway.
So anyway, they have no 20 year olds in Shema. Maybe shall help that we should we should be able to, it's the melech is besoda, it's Chodesh Elul. The Eibishter wants to make it easy for us to make Kabbalah Sal Malchus Shemayim, that we should have the Kabbalah oil, we should have the Armakiv, and the Pnimi, and the Yichud Pnimi.
Amen. I don't know this.
It's nice. We're covering all the Zemanim. And that's Hashem will get to the Zman of Bias Mashiach Tzedkenu.
Did I make a second on Masechet with the Zohar or after mine?
You can make it now.
Okay,
fine. Next week,